Hey, it's Jordan with TYT Politics. I hope you had a Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, happy whatever you celebrate. I am in Flint. This is my second time here reporting for you. Obviously, the mainstream media, the corporate media, has decided Flint is no longer worthy of coverage. I disagree. And from my first two interviews I've done today, I could tell you this is still a crisis. This is still a disaster zone. And this is still a nightmare, frankly, for most of the people here. But because our corporate media would prefer to lounge out at the bottom of Trump Tower and only report on what Donald Trump is doing, Donald Trump's boogers, Donald Trump's tweets, a crisis pretty much created by corrupt Republicans and aided by neoliberal Democrats continues to be a crisis. Unfortunately, you, the viewer, and Americans don't know about it. So let me give you a few updates. Number one, I just interviewed a woman named Laura McIntyre. It was actually a follow-up. I interviewed her over the summer when I was here first. I went through her home. She showed me the walls, which had stains from the lead contamination. She showed me behind her toilet just this pinkish goo that you could see in the toilet, which is from the lead contamination. Her washing machine broke because of contaminated water swirling around. Just gross sediments of lead and all sorts of gunk were all throughout her house. So I'm here probably 4 or 5 months later. Shocker. Everything has gotten worse. Her walls previously had little stains around it. Now there is gigantic stains everywhere, all over her wall. That pinky gooish gunk I was just telling you about is now it's not even gunk. It's something I can't even describe. It's so disgusting looking. You have literally the pipes in people's homes are corroding to the point of disrepair. Meanwhile, you have the city government of Flint, the state of Michigan, spending more money on public relations to tell you Flint is fine, there's no problem in Flint, than they are on actually changing pipes in people's homes. There's numbers that have gone out that more than 600 pipes have been replaced in people's homes around Flint. That number is made out of thin air because there's not 600 pipes that have been fixed. There's closer to between 50 and 100 pipes that have been changed. And that's out of 35 to 40,000 pipes that need to be changed in the city of Flint. These are pipes of people's homes where the pipes that are completely corroded and contaminated. Most people, the majority of people still cannot drink their water here. And they are told, oh, you could drink the water. In brochures, they are told, you could drink the water, you just have to have a filter on it. And they are urged to just go get a filter, like a Brita or something like that, and you can drink the water. Well, if you're not aware, Brita and other filters like that, low-cost filters, are not foolproof. They do not get rid of all of the complete gamut of lead particles. So people are literally drinking the water in many cases because they put like a Brita filter or some type of filter like that is not foolproof. Those filters actually come with a disclaimer not to be used in case of contaminated water. And this is what people of Flint are told to use to drink the water. It's still not safe to shower in water for that long because you're consuming lead and contaminants. And it's not just lead that people are finding. The person I just interviewed in her home, they found chloroform in her home, which is a very toxic chemical. But she found it because she had a private study done through the Virginia Tech. Most of the actual lead testing was just for lead and copper, not for chloroform and other chemicals. So God knows what else has been found in people, is swimming in people's homes, because there's only been tests for lead and copper. Really, what needs to happen here, folks, and I'm not exaggerating, there's a cognitive dissonance that the media was perpetuated that, crisis is over. This is still a crisis. It's not so different from Standing Rock. Standing Rock was more concrete and visible. 18 million people's water is at stake. There is a deadline. because the oil company was putting that pipe through, and they had to have it done by between December and January to start, and hoping the oil would flow by January or February. So because of that, and correctly so, rightly so, there was a giant movement behind. Flint needs a movement behind it. Flint, I'm not calling for an encampment, but bodies need to be on the ground here, because the majority of people still cannot drink the water, cannot bathe in the water, and are spending thousands of dollars on bottled water and things of that nature, because they can't drink from the tap here. And by the way, shocker, this is about a 67 to 70% African American area, Flint. It's about 67 to 70% African American made. You think this would be the response from the federal or state government if this was happening in, Santa Monica, California, Los Angeles, and New York City? Of course not. The National Guard would be in 5 minutes, and the problem would be done in a week. There's also another element here. Now, activists here filed a lawsuit with the ACLU to get water delivered to homes, because a lot of people here don't own cars. A lot of people here don't have the means to go travel to pick up bottled water. So a federal judge ruled in their favor in November. Ruled that the city, through the state, had to start delivering bottled water to people's homes. That was in November. And the judge gave them a deadline of December 19th to show progress. They have not started. They still haven't delivered the water. And that's from a federal injunction that they were told you have to deliver bottled water home to home. And the state has to pay for it. Well, they haven't been delivering that water, because in Michigan, Detroit, and Flint, your government officials can poison you, and then they don't need to listen to judges, and there's no consequences. That's not even to mention, in the middle of December, Congress finally passed relief money, over 100, I believe it was over 100 million. I could be wrong. I think it was over 100 million to Flint. Well, take a guess. President Obama signed that into law. Has anybody here seen any money? This was December 10th. Well, it's 2 weeks later. That money has not come, not a dime. You say, oh, Jordan, it's a bureaucracy. It takes a while to disperse money. This is a crisis here. This is a crisis. Yes, CNN won't tell you that. MSNBC won't tell you that. The New York Times won't tell you that. Would it be a crisis to you if you can't drink tap water? If you can't shower or bathe without fear of consuming lead? The woman I just interviewed, her family, they have nosebleeds still, loss of hair still, rashes still. And this is 3 years after the original contamination. Trust me, if relief money was signed on December 10th and the issue was in New York City or Los Angeles or Ann Arbor, where the governor lives here, the money would be there the next day. But because it's a mostly poor black area, who knows when the money will come. But the media covered it. There was articles written. Oh, Flint gets relief. Victory for all. It would take too long for me to explain the behind closed doors corruption that's going on here at City Hall, which I'm going to be doing more reporting on while I'm here. And there's one last thing. There is now shutoff notices going around the entire area of Flint. Water shut off because people are late on paying their water bills. So that's how it works in Flint, and that's how it works in America. Your government poisons you to try to save money, and then they still charge you for your water, and if you don't pay the water bill, you're out. So there's shut-off notices going around. They started going around literally the week before Christmas, so very tactful. Water shut-off notices were going around that for people, if you are a little bit late on your water bill, even a week late or a month late, shut-off notices that gave you the deadline of a week to pay or you'd be evicted. And this is for water that people cannot safely drink. They're still being charged for. But the government, the state gave them a tax credit on their water. Thank you for giving us a tax credit after you poisoned us. If this happened in New York City or Los Angeles or Ann Arbor, they would be bringing in gourmet smart water for people. But because it happens in a poor black neighborhood, they poison you, and then they send you shut-off notices that you're going to be evicted around Christmas time if you don't pay the poisoned water. American democracy in action, folks. I'll be out here for a few days. I got interviews lined up. If you're in the Flint area and you have a story yourself, you know people with Astoria, please message me directly on Facebook, Jordan Sheridan. If you're not subscribed to TYT Politics, it's youtube.com/TYT Politics. These videos will go up there, youtube.com/TYT Politics. And if you want more reporting on the ground in Flint, I'm also going to East Chicago, Indiana after Flint to cover the lead crisis there. I broke it over the summer. Shocker, another poor black neighborhood has a lead crisis. If you want more reporting like this, show me the money, Lebowski. TYT has a money drive going to hire more reporters. We've already hired one new reporter, but we can't tell you who it is until we reach $500,000. Last time I checked, we were around $450,000. So if you want to know who that reporter is, and if you want them dispersed to do actual reporting as opposed to just reporting what Donald Trump tweets, tytnetwork.com/go. That's tytnetwork.com/go. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great rest of your holiday season.